how Overwatch plays as far as knowing each other and knowing each other how they play rather than just getting like the six best players, because like I said, on paper these are all very, very good players, not necessarily gelling together just yet, which is completely understandable. This roster is like brand new. So yeah, it's been interesting to see the moments where Cloud9 looks like, oh, they look like a team. It looks like they're talking. They did this because this, then this, and like it's really fun to watch. But overall, you see like Rise Nation already has that, and that really came together as far as the control points go. But we're going to Kings Row, our third map in this best of three, Rise Nation versus the new Cloud9. See what happens here. You know what? I'm starting to favor Cloud9. I feel like they're getting their feet under them, and I'm actually looking out for them in like the rest of this tournament.
I think C9 definitely has a bigger edge on payload maps. I think when you look at the map drafting part of the game, I kind of feel like C9 is going to go out of their way to avoid control from here on out, just from what we saw. I mean, I'm almost looking at this, I realize that it's a different team on one end and three different players on another. But I still like, when you look at how the control map went down, I kind of got vibes of C9 versus Method back at E-League, and I think for one reason or another, C9 probably just well advised to stick with maps that they have more practice on, like your Kings Row, like your Hollywood, maps along those nature, because even if you look at Liquid, they gave Liquid a very strong fight, even though they ended up losing nonetheless.
Yeah, well, I think control maps are largely decided by your Zenyatas and your Winstons, and I don't know necessarily who Cloud9 has that is comfortable on either of those, because a lot of control maps are just about like just winning a fight, right? It's like whoever wins the fight gets the point, whoever wins the next fight keeps or takes over the point. So that's kind of how it goes. And when you're just doing like engage and hard engage fights like that, your Zen and Winston become very important. I don't know necessarily what they have to run on both of those. Defensively, it looks pretty standard-ish here. They are running a 3-2-1. There's going to be triple tanks, 2 supports, and 1 DPS, and the defensive Reaper from Spirit. I'd ask you to call the offense, but it would just end up making you look foolish as they switch. But this, I do think, is what they're going to run.
I think Surefour on the Hanzo is entirely expected here, if he decides to go with it. And Mendo on the Pharah, why not? If you're not going to be running the defensive McCree Zenyatta, there's no reason not to run a Pharah right into this, especially if you have someone that can make Pharah work, which Mendo feels it. Opens things up with a good concussive blast, sets Reinhardt in kind of not good positioning, and it's a good opening here from C9. They're getting the space they need to get. Yeah. They're pushing back Rise, and this is a case where if they just get a little bit more, they're definitely going to push the advantage and go right in.
Kings Row offense has been a map you could always run offensive Pharah on, regardless. It doesn't matter if McCree is 10 times the power he is now. You have a nice little alley there, but Adam dying really early there is a problem for the offensive push. They do switch it back over, though, and they get a couple kills of their own as Kid, yeah, he gets the Ana boost.
It's a problem, but Mendo's been able to hit rocket after rocket, really doing all sorts of poke damage, setting up his team. Another long-range rocket coming out, setting up Lock for that death. And good effort here from C9. They lost Adam early on, but other than that, they kept their momentum, they kept winning the poke war, and as a result, they're rewarded with a very quick cap here on point A.
It is another good thing in favor of their communication and how they're working as a team, because you cannot run Pharah and not talk to your team, because you're not going to finish a ton of kills. You're going to start every single kill. I chunked them for 100, someone go finish, and that's how you run a successful Pharah. They did that just right then. They're going to have every ult pushing through here, but they're going to be pushing to a defense well situated for this next push. Kaikai's got to be a little bit careful. That is a very aggressive grab. Where's the rest of his team? Here comes the Dragon.
Graviton comes in, the Dragon moving in. It's 4 kills coming up from C9. C9 not to be stopped right now, keeping up their momentum, and they are looking very good right now, almost completely different from what we saw from them earlier today where they're up against Liquid. I just feel like it's a much better Kings Row opening.
They're talking, because I was very worried that Kaikai was using that Graviton just trying to clean it up himself, but he did it knowing that the ranged ultimate of Surefour was about to come in and clean it up, because he was about half a kilometer in front of the rest of his team and just cleared so much space. Now it is up to the defense to hold here. They do have a couple of ultimates of their own, wiped last time before they were able to use them. Fight incoming.
Mendo, though, coming in for the back. Nano boost out, barrage in, Justice raining from above. Mendo taking out 1, gets 2, looking for more. McCree under pressure, and of course they do switch that McCree to try and contain Mendo here, but mixed results. XRT is able to take him out, but there's the res. That is such a heartbreaker when you're a McCree. It's just like, oh, I just killed the Pharah. Why like this? And XRT, to his credit, still gritting it out, but his team is dying all around him, and even if he gets Mendo here, which he will, it's not going to be enough to actually hold the point.
Well, Retsy's a great McCree. That's one of the highlights of this team, is his hit scan play is off the charts. He's wonderful on the McCree, but he can kill Mendo all day, but when no one else is killing anyone else, you're still going to be in for trouble. trouble as Short 4 adds a late kill onto Spirit. They're being very aggressive. Like, both these DPS have no concept of what a Reinhardt shield does, and they're totally happy because they're getting pocketed anyway. The heals have been there.
It has, and for Rise, their best chance of turning this around, they do have a lot of ults in their bank. They should be able... Oh, no! Sure4 finds Spirit right away! There will be no big death possibly out. Sure4 having himself a run right now. 2 quick kills coming out, looking for Lucio. I don't think Lucio realizes he's being hunted. Mendo with the rockets over the top. Everything going in favor of C9, and Rise kind of collapsing right now, Hex.
It's been all red on the left side of the kill feed as they continue to push forward. No resurrection on the defense anymore either, so they're going to have to kill the offense twice over, as Adam's been holding on to this res in his pocket for quite a bit. He does tempo res again, and that's been the second time they do that. Here comes a grab.
Oh, here it is. Graviton in the Dragon Strike moving in. That is one hungry dragon taking out 3. And Sure4 saying, I'll light out on 4th, right on top. It gets the 5th. What a mid-air arrow coming in from Sure4. That was the Sure4 show at the very end of this. My goodness.
Yeah, and we will like focus on the DPS and how well they did, but I do think you're seeing signs, just as a spectator, right? I'm only in third person, but you're seeing signs that this team is talking and communicating, and as that gets better, that should be frightening for everyone else in the tournament.
I mean, really, it just feels like just watching C9 over the last series or two, it feels like they've been leveling up before our eyes, and it's really cool to watch, so...
You know, like, honestly, I'll ask them, but I feel like it might be, like, the 4th set they've ever played as a team together, like this particular roster, because I know you and I have both seen different iterations of this Cloud9 roster in different scrims, and this is not the exact iteration I've seen of the Cloud9 roster, so they've been trying to put it together the last couple days. This might be, like, the 4th or 5th time they played together.
Yeah, and you take a look at teams, even if you have a really good core set of players, I would direct you to Fnatic, where they started out as Numerous. They weren't world beaters in the very beginning. It took them a lot of time to gel as a roster. So, again, C9, they're trying out new people. They're not necessarily committed to the roster they're setting up now, but if you did see dramatic improvement come out of them in a short order, don't be surprised, because it wouldn't be the first time we've seen it in the scene.
Yeah, I wonder who was shot calling on this team. Who do you think? Maybe Kai? Kai or Adam?
Hard to say. I mean, I could see Kai doing the shot calling. I don't think it's Sure4 doing the shot calling. It depends. A lot of teams, of course, have their support do shot calling as well. I just don't know how the C9 comm structure is too much on the inside, so I can't really say.
Yeah, I would assume like Kai or Adam is probably maybe a combination of both of them, because Adam's always been on support. He just doesn't necessarily strike me as the most boisterous of people, so him and Kai perhaps combining. But the core of this Cloud9 team looking good, integrating all of these top-level free agents. It's been fun to watch so far. We'll see what they have here on their defense. Short4 hanging out on Statue on his Reaper, looking for that drop down. Nothing really out of the ordinary from either side here.
Nope, nothing too crazy here. Mendo going to be looking to control the game on the Mei. Sure4 looking to bring the muscle on that Reaper, and Wall comes in to begin with, and Sure4 saying, you know what, I'm just going to stay up here. I'll wait for the drop in. And getting all sorts of good damage onto the Reinhardt, though, almost getting punished in turn.
Gotta be a little bit careful. He's going to Wraith out behind the shield, though, as they do put up another wall to renegotiate the battlefield. The Spirit tries to come through, punished for it.
Spirit dying immediately, and Spirit, he's been the muscle for us. When he dies early, it's not great. Sure4 finds way to the backline, getting the free Hanzo pick, looking for more, gonna get the double kill onto the Zarya. And C9 coming out strong here on King's Row, where, again, if you don't take King's Row in the first fight, you end up giving ultimates to the defense. It makes the defense way more likely to win fight number 2, and it really gums up your offense in a situation where Ryze doesn't have a whole lot of time to spare. One
of the most difficult first points in the game for an offense, in my opinion, just because your entry options are so limited. Retzi taking out Short4 is going to really help them, though. 6v5 coming in.
That was the simplest of geometry. Experts to get fall through here. Dragon Strike moving in, making positional problems here for C9. Kai, though, taking down Spirit early once more. So the offense of Ryze Nation a little bit kneecapped early on. Blizzard coming in here from C9. They're going to look to control space. Not sure it's going to be enough, but Mendo coming in, getting one pick, looking for more. Desro in trouble. Soundbearer coming in late from Adam. But this could be enough for C9 to at least get a little bit of stabilization here.
They really wanted to win that fight, as evidenced by the Soundbearer coming in as late as it did. They would like to get a couple other kills in the chase. They are chasing it very deep. Takedown locked towards the end. You know, a mediocre Soundbearer, I suppose. Like, they wanted to save a couple people, make sure they won that fight. 2 minutes left to finish this next push, and they are going to have both tank ultimates up in this next push. We'll see if they can get some efficiency out of them.
They will have the tank ult to its up, but look at Surefour. He's in great position to just roll to the back line and do absolute havoc here with the Death Blossom. And actually, he's just saying, you know what, I'm just going to use Primary Fire. Kai set me up so well. Just click after click, gets 2 kills right away, and he gets to save the Death Blossom for the next fight. So Kai with the early strike to set all of that up.
It literally looked like he took his hand off his keyboard. He wasn't moving at all. No WASD. He was just standing up there and clicking.
Look. It was that multitasking coming out from Surefour. He's like, well, I could move, but I really want to get a drink right now. So he's drinking with one hand, clicking on them with the other hand, and picking up 2. That's how well Kai just set up Surefour.
You just forget how goofy characters look when they're not moving and shooting, just standing and shooting. But the air shatter comes in, does not hit everything. The offense does come in with the sound barrier. Spirit takes down 2 to begin this fight.
He takes down 2, but Surefour off the flank, takes down 2, finishes with the Death Blossom. Rib getting 3 in the middle of it, and this is not a one fight at all, but it's Spirit and Desro, 2 on the point. And they might have done enough as Spirit with the final clutch kill on the Surefour. So Rise just barely dragging themselves onto this point. But you take a look here. I think C9 will probably give this up and just go for a better defense on streets.
Yeah, I mean, like even stalling out seconds on first is not all that great. You would rather have a more coordinated streets defense. So they already lock them off there. It looks like they want to hold on streets very first up on the first point. And this is an area where you see a lot of like kind of drop downs and things like that. With both teams running a Reaper, would not be surprised to see something sneaky try to come out, but both playing it pretty standard right now. The only ultimate on the field is the offensive Graviton.
Alright, well, Graviton going to be coming out here from the side of Rise. They pull in 5. Earthshower coming in. Desra, though, not getting what he's looking for. Rib able to keep his team nice and secure there. And here comes C9 with the counter moving in. Blizzard is out. Earthshower out from Rib. Also not getting a whole lot, but it's 5v5 between the 2 teams right now. And here comes the Blizzard coming in from Mendo, setting up Rib for another kill. And C9, they're going to hold here and buy themselves even more time against Rise.
Yeah, solid defense there as the Blizzard came up behind the lines, grabbed a couple kills there. They remain to be holding on this first line here. It's been a strange night for sound barriers. I think sound barriers have just been like precautionary. They've been the insurance, but it's not like engaging on sound barrier, disengaging on sound barrier. It's like, oh, we might die on sound barrier. It's been a little bit off on the Lucio games tonight, but there is this defensive grab. There's a high noon up. We'll see what kind of targets that Anna wants to get on her offensive push with the nano boost. It's probably going on Spirit.
Alright, well, the defensive Graviton coming out here. X-Retzi ends up going in with this team. Had faith that he'd be protected, but Surefour rolling in, ends up taking out 3, moving in. Midnight actually going to chase Surefour off, but the damage has been done. And C9 right now about 2 team fights away from taking King's Row and taking the series.
I think we're going to see a repeat of that just with different colors, as I'd imagine that Locke's going to give Spirit this nano boost momentarily. They're going to hit all their Qs and hope, because they only have 90 seconds left to get this to the second point.
This is all hands on deck right now for Rise. They need this next fight to go in their favor. Midnight's going to open up here the Graviton. Graviton is out. Nano Boost is out. Spirit moving to the back line. Death Blossom in. Takes down 1 really early. Moves right in. 4 quick kills coming out from Rise. But they had to cash a lot of their ults to be able to do that.
Yeah, I've always said, though, I mean, even not in this situation, if you have to burn all your ults for a single point, King's Row second's not a bad one to do it, because it moves your spawn so far ahead. It's impossible to engage on the second point from where you spawn if you're taking first, so you need to do it. But I don't think this fight is over yet, as defense is going to be in position to contest before we get around the bend.
Alright, so Destro still holding on to that Earthshatter. Gonna be looking to set up C9 as they roll back in. Does land the Earthshatter, knocks down at least 2. Soundbearer in here for Rise's Spirit, going in once more. Ends up taking out 2. Surefour did. Death Blossom back, got very little for it. And even though the Blizzard is creating space right now, hang on. It's Surefour versus Spirit once more. Spirit trying to hang in here, is getting supported. And it's a gritty last fight here, but Spirit doing pretty well.
Yeah, Spirit does clean up the next couple. It's always good to have a Reaper on your side when you get down to these like 3v3 duels, just because his own sustain, his escapability, and his damage all combines really well to these kind of like scrappy melees. They are going to be able to push the card here. Not over yet. 90 seconds now on the clock to finish out this point.
And you take a look at Spirit right now. Spirit looking to pile on, gets to that high ground Reaper position where Reapers have dropped down time and time again. He will be getting that support from Midnight and Azaria's shield, and just looking to go in, but here comes Surefour. They're both going to be Reaper fighting out here for control of this. Spirit, I think he's going to go to the back line. Instead says, enough is Surefour. Let me get in on Wolf. Goes for the C9 supports. Has 1 kill. Looking for the second. Adam will fall. And Spirit decides, you know what? I'm not taking that Surefour fight. Not when I can do so much damage to your back line.
Yeah, I mean, when you're fighting in a mirror match anyway, you never really feel great about it. Like, winning it is okay and it's fine. So he just chooses to go to the route of victory, taking on 3 in the back line, leaving Surefour to his own devices. Surefour is going to try to gut it out here as Graviton is up.
Graviton coming in here from both teams. Both teams getting to it. Spirit, though, able to take down Mendo early on, still unanswered. 170 HP in the back, looking for more, will get more. And this is where Spirit is so deadly, where people aren't on him, and he just lays in shot after shot. Good positioning play coming from Spirit, and Rise, even though at a dramatic time bank disadvantage, will stay alive at least to overtime.
Yeah, it actually is a little surprising. I did not expect them to finish that map based on what we saw for first push and second push, but they did get consequently better phase to phase. I think that's just a great decision by Spirit, and he might have been talked into it because he was hanging out there trying to duel Surefour the 1v1, and I was actually thinking before that was happening that when Cloud9 is winning is it's when they get the other team in a dueling position. So if you're 1v1, 3v3, Cloud9's essentially going to come out ahead, and that's a lot based on just the mechanical skill of the players that they have. You cannot engage Cloud9 like that. It's a little surprising they lost King of the Hill, but that King of the Hill is not necessarily always about dualism, but when you get down to scrappy fights and things have deteriorated, that's when Cloud9 has used that to their advantage. Spirit, knowing that, chooses not to 1v1, takes the unalt, goes in the back line, wipes out 3, and that's how they're able to push that last point.
The thing about good Reaper play is that it's part mechanics, part decision-making, and Spirit has proven to be very adept at both. I mean, just the positions he puts him in to pick up those kills, it's not all aim, it's also game sense to get himself in those positions, so he's been very impressive and definitely one of the very standout players here for this Rise Nation squad. Yeah,
I would say that Reaper is about like 85% just game sense and decision-making and positioning. All of your abilities are to get you in position. The aim, it's like, well, if you miss a headshot, sometimes you'll miss that hit, but like for the most part, your shotguns, bro, just be like where you need to be. So yeah, Reaper is definitely like that. I always kind of make him akin to like TF2 Spy with Dead Ringer. Get in, get out, try to get a kill.
All right, so offense of Rise, not with a whole lot of time with them here. They only had a minute, but they are able to get the first pick off on the Surefour. That big gun of damage is down, and Spirit can have an opportunity to go to the back line, looking for Kai. Will take him out with X-Retzi, looking for more. Getting into Ana, has to back out, but Rise getting everything they need here. And Hex, we might be in for an overtime payload push in just a moment as X-Retzi getting all the cleanup he needs and more.
It does appear so. Retzi has been off the charts. They do try to stall it out with an Ana. I think Riv is going to try to come in here. At this point, like, you might as well try to get on the point where they get pulled out, pushed out. Surefour grabs a kill, but it is way too late. This first point is going to be captured, and now we're into the overtime. Are we going to see a luxury watch kind of push? Are they going to get to the end?
That is certainly what Rise is hoping for here, and they will have the ults to back it up. However, you want to talk about playmakers here for the defense. They have Graviton. They're about to have Blizzard and a Death Blossom. So C9 has a lot of ways of stopping this miracle push from happening, but this is one of the greatest parts about Time Bank. This is where miracles do, in fact, happen. Let's see how this works out here. We're Kai right now, looking to set the tone. Does have that Graviton up and ready. Mendo looking for the follow through, and here comes the shot from Desro, but the counter coming right in. X-Retzi, though, able to get too early on. So Kai still blowing the Graviton in a 3v6 situation. This is a little bit rough.
Late.
I don't know.
It's all been late.
Surefour coming in from the flank, ends up getting 5. They did not care. Surefour able to set that up. You thought X-Retzi had the fight won, but Surefour out of nowhere. As Kai says, Overwatch. Oh my goodness! What in the world?
Right, on the defense, though, those are like 3 of the most mistimed ults you can see. They were all very late. They should not have happened. And then Surefour just proves us all wrong, saying, like, you don't think...
Hurricane Matthew, oh my goodness.
Is Surefour's actual...
I feel like that's one of those things where that's not even necessarily too soon. I don't know. I'm staying away from Hurricane Matthew jokes, but Faz can own that one all on his own.
It literally hasn't even happened. Of course it's too soon. Like, I hope it hasn't happened. I don't know. I live in the safe
It might
Midwest.
be too soon for Zoms, though. Zoms is like, I don't know why he's playing, and I guess apparently Surefour is in the area, but so is Zoms, and it's just like, guys, just evacuate.
I made the smart choice to live in a place that doesn't have natural disasters, so I don't understand hurricanes.
Hey, listen, as part of Team Midwest, I'm right there with you. I mean, sure, it gets cold and we get blizzards, and technically we could get tornadoes, but they're the weakest tornadoes ever.
Yeah.
Tornado Alley actually just laughs at us.
I always just mock whenever a tornado warning comes on. I'm like, oh, maybe you'll have to go downstairs. Probably won't. Like, not gonna happen. All right, so we are still going on this map here. After the Surefour show did come to town, Hurricane Surefour, as he's been dubbed in our lobby chat. Right now, what do they just have to take first? Or no, take first.
They have to take first and push it a little bit here. So, and they have 4.5 minutes to do it. So C9 in a really good position. Mendo opening up once more with that knockback on the Reinhardt, setting things up.
So first an Arch as they do come in here. Mendo is still running on that Pharah. Like I said, a great map to run the Pharah. Pretty much uncontested over the top, get those damage boosted rockets, and it pushes them back into the corner. Retzi takes down Surefour though. It's a great opening kill for them.
It's good for them at the very, and again, they're gonna have to do this for quite a while here, where you can't rest easy here as a defense on Kings Row. The offense respawns really, really quickly, and honestly, it's a rough go here for Rise, but it's a thing they have to do nonetheless. Mendo, though, moving right to the back line, looking to take out that McCree, not wanting him to take him out of the sky, and while that's going on, Spirit able to get to the back, takes down Wolf.
Reinhardt v Reinhardt happened there, but Adam is going to res up the remainders of his team. It's been tempo reses all across the board for Cloud9 so far. Spirit's trying to get poking from the backside, but they see everyone. Kai taking down Retzi should push this fight in favor of Cloud9 as they take down another.
2 kills coming out here from Kai, and C9 definitely with the momentum on their side. The defense not going to be able to reinforce. Mendo, just for authority, taking on Faz, who is off on a wall-riding adventure.
Yeah, and this
now remember,
like
they have to take point A and get a little bit further, so technically it's not over yet, but it's going to be rough as Mendo is looking to set them up with this barrage.
Have you ever seen a team take point A and then not get the cart there? Like, that is, that's a very small expectation. That yellow box is so close. So close.
It is incredibly close. This is not usually where Kings Row games end.
No.
But Surefour definitely finding a way of ending it on the last thing. But here comes the defense. They got to roll in really quickly here. They don't have time. 3 meters, 2 meters. Okay, so they do get the contest up, but here's Mendo. He's waiting. In comes the barrage. Justice raining for above. Gets 1. Looking for more. Will end up with 2. Gets a nano boost for good measure. And C9 just about has done it here. They just need a little bit more. And GG's already coming out.
1 meter, man. All right. Cloud9 does pull it back after a rough showing on Nepal against this team. They do end up winning the set. 2-1. And it does remain that Cloud9 is still good on the hybrid maps. And even though it's only half of Cloud9, even if you want to call it that, they did win Hollywood and they did win Kings Row.
Play of the match.
Alrighty, so Surefour play of the match coming in. The weird thing is that it's on Hanzo, and honestly, it was a great play, but that Reaper play at the very end, oh my goodness. I wonder if, does this have his mid-air flick arrow? If it does, then it's totally worth it. It does, look at this. Look at that! The mid-air flick arrow. You don't see that every day. That was just phenomenal.
No, I see that every time right before I stop playing Overwatch. Every time that happens to me, I exit to desktop. That's how I've seen that before. Our next match will be, I believe, Team Liquid versus this Rise team. So they did fall to Cloud9. We'll see how they fare against